program, or a few things to say after welcoming everyone to the sort of final walkthrough of Strong Hall. It's not really the final walkthrough, but I mean it's sort of set up that way. But things are moving very, very quickly. So in the last week, due to some monumental efforts of the MOVE group and faculty and a number of other folks, an awful, large number of boxes got packed up and shipped to different locations on campus, a number of different locations. So it's pretty amazing that it all kind of happened on schedule, so, or at least on the first phase of the schedule. There's kind of two phases here, so we've got some other things to do. I do want to welcome President Smith for joining us for this kind of final walkthrough. And I thought I'd just mention a few things about Strong Hall. The building was actually constructed in 1956. It opened initially in fall of 1957, but the official dedication didn't take place till later. So I've learned that a lot of times people can be here for a while, the buildings can be here for a while, and then a few months later, then the official welcome or official dedication takes place. So for Strong, that took place on February 28, 1958. The building was named in honor of Edwin A. Strong, and he was head of physical sciences from 1886 to 1916. The original departments that came into the building were a little, not well known, as I asked folks. But initially we had chemistry, physics, geography, and natural science. And at that point in time, geology was actually with the natural sciences group. And in the original configuration of this floor, there were 9 chemistry labs. So that was a big deal. There were 9 chemistry labs. So you can still see most of them along that wall. Well, half of them anyway, and on the other wall. But chemistry didn't stay in the building very long, right? Because with the construction of the Mark Jefferson building that opened in 1970, the Mark Jefferson Science Complex was created, and chemistry moved over to their new home. And I guess the Natural Sciences Department just sort of faded away. Not quite sure what happened to them, but around the mid-60s, I guess 1965, geology moved and joined geography as equal partners, and we've been a blended department ever since. All this took place under the administration of Eugene B. Elliott, who served as EMU's 15th president from 1948 to 1965. So that was 10 presidents ago that the building was first opened. And he oversaw the transition from Michigan State Normal College to Eastern Michigan College, and then finally Eastern Michigan University. So a tremendous amount of things took place during his administration. Exciting times. Probably lots of buildings were constructed as well. Then the murals, they were painted on the main floor of Strong as a result of a grant that was secured by a faculty member over in the art department, but I'm not sure who. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of documentation about the art faculty member, although we do know in our own department that Dr. Carl Ojala, a geographer, served as sort of the science consultant, and then one of the historic preservation faculty members, Marshall McLennan, contributed some expertise to one of the murals on the Michigan Main Street. We know of some of the art students because at least they left their last name. I don't know their first name, but Clark was responsible for the tunnel going down the staircase. No, not Christine. She often is asked that, though. And there was a student named Langush, L-A-N-G-U-S-C-H, which Rocky could comment on. Professor.
That's close.
Robert Ward.
That's close.
All right, got close. I believe he worked on this particular mural that's sitting quite next to us. And another student that contributed, in fact, I think probably did about 40 or close to half the work, was named Terry Reed. And I met her last summer, and I think she stopped in and saw Dr. LaDuca, because she was here to prove a bet. So after graduating from Eastern, having a successful career, they relocated in the Ann Arbor area, and she came here to see if the murals were still here. But her husband had told her, I'll bet you $20 that building's gone and those murals sure as hell is gone. And she was delighted that everything was still in place.
Hasn't changed a bit.
Hadn't changed a bit, right? So some of the highlights that took place from 57 through currently, mostly this has to do with the development of creative programs. And in fact, and if any of you want a copy of this, I can try to provide you with it. But in 1995, two faculty members wrote an article about the history of the department, celebrating the 30-year anniversary of the joining of geography and geology together in the department. And they had said that they felt that the great success of the program or the department had been, high quality teaching and innovative development of new programs. And I think that has continued throughout the whole time frame. So for example, in 1977, there was a creation of a land use analysis program, and that was established by Rocky Ward. In 78, urban and regional planning concentration was created, which eventually became a major and eventually became one of only 15 accredited urban and regional planning programs in the country. In 1979, we created the Historic Preservation Master's Degree Program, now in its 37th year, and still considered one of the premier HP programs in the country. So we're all quite proud of that. 1985, a travel and tourism major was created during a real boom time in Michigan for tourism. That program still has a concentration within the geography degree. 92, urban and regional planning major was formally created. In 99, the GIS master's program was created, as well as a master's in urban and regional planning. And then, more recently, in 2012, the department played a significant role in the creation of the Interdisciplinary Environmental Science and Society program that now has over 130 majors. It's interdisciplinary, so it's shared between our department, chemistry, biology, history and philosophy. So there are a number of departments who contribute at least a course or two to that. But that's still one of the most rapidly growing programs, certainly in the college. And then more recently, last year, the department created a new major in Geographic Information Science and Technology, a new GIST major. So going back a little bit further, the department was founded in 1903 and is among the oldest academic units, not only on EMU's campus, but it's among the oldest, if not the oldest, functioning geography program in the United States. So we have some real traditions here. Our graduate programs start in 1927, so that's also a very long history. And then currently, we have over 14 degree programs and certificates among our many talented tenure-track faculty, which is now up to 20, right? We're back up to nearly full strength with 20 tenure-track faculty. Running out of offices to place them, so it's a good time to be renovating the building. I've got a list over here, and it's probably incomplete, so if you find one, let me know. But we tried to list all of the folks who've taught in the program since 1957, but there's a lot of movement of folks in and out. Some are around for decades, and others are like here for a semester or two, and then you don't hear from them. And we do have a couple of mystery photos here, so I've been asking folks to see if they can identify the faculty members. The one on the left, unfortunately, very tragically died a number of years ago, which many folks still remember. It was a terrible, terrible thing.
Man, a really good man.
And then just a couple of years ago, we also lost Dr. Chris Maida, who was a very popular instructor, and there's a memorial bench just outside the building that we were able to, well, the family actually purchased the bench and dedicated it, and there was a ceremony that took place last spring. All right, so.